Namaskar. Welcome to Christ University Hall for video conferencing. The Pro Vice Chancellor is here. I do not see him. Father Abraham, please, could you just stand up? Father Abraham, he's the Pro Vice Chancellor, and the Vice Chancellor may come at any moment just to show his face. He will be addressing tomorrow. And today we are here to listen to the keynote address of Professor Dr. Harald Suermann, Director, Missiology, Aachen, Germany. Professor Dr. Harald Suermann is currently the Director of the Institute of Missiology, Aachen, Germany. He has studied Catholic theology and Oriental Christianity in Bonn and Paris. From 1986 to 88, he was collaborator of the German Institute of Oriental Studies in Beirut and Istanbul. He joined Missio in 1988 and has different functions, among them head of the library. A word about Missio. Glauben, Leben, Geben. This is the very motto of Missio, which means sharing faith, giving life. Since 1922, Missio has been the Catholic Church's official charity for overseas mission. Missio has immensely contributed to the development of infrastructure of DVK, including the Central Library of the DVK and the Research Center where we had our international conference this morning and noon time. Besides this, the Institute offers substantial scholarship to the students pursuing their theological and philosophical studies at DVK. So we are indeed very grateful to the Institute of Missiology, Aachen. And coming to Professor Harald Suermann, he has been working in the field of theology and especially in the field of Oriental theology. He has a number of books to his credit, and he is also a member of the European Academy of Sciences and Arts in Salzburg and lectures at the philosophy faculty of the University Bonn. And Professor Harald Suermann, we are indeed privileged to have at least this conference in an age of space becoming very, very global and also very, very realizable at any moment, at anywhere, and in the right way. And we were talking this morning about the content management system and also changing perspectives about the space in the library. And we are managing the space, Germany and India. And you are going to talk to us today, Institute of Missiology's library in the service of the world church. I think you would be able to talk to us for half an hour, and then we will be having a discussion, interaction for 10 to 15 minutes. And now, with your permission, I would like to welcome you to this gathering. You can see the crowd here, and we are in the Christ University campus, especially to greet you, and in the name of all assembled here, and the organizers, and especially in the name of Father John, the director of DVK Central Library, I extend to you a most cordial welcome.
Thank you very much.
And over to you, Harald. Over to you. You can talk now. We can hear you, we can see you, we can feel you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I greet you in the hall. I'm sorry that I cannot come personally to this conference, which is quite important. Indeed, the world of library is changing drastically. New technologies, new expectations, and new tasks are the challenge. It is also for our library called Mikado. It is an abbreviation of the German Missiology und katholische Dokumentation. The context of my contribution is our own library and its tasks. It is a library for in-house information on missiology, contextual theology and philosophies, and church history, as well as pastoral development in Africa, Asia, and Oceania, but also for informing about Christian churches, pastoral work, religious, interreligious dialogue, and related subjects and topics to the public, and for supplying documents for research on these subjects. The library has over 160,000 volumes on missiology, contextual theology, philosophy, church history, religion and related subjects, with the area focus on Africa, Asia, Latin America and Oceania. Most of these documents are researchable on our web catalog by formal as well as by content aspects. The users of the library are collaborators in our house or scholars from outside, even as far away as Central Africa. A good number of the users are not coming physically to the library, but asking for copies on certain articles via internet or borrowing books. The library seeks to collect not only books and articles about the ancient areas, but especially those published in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Oceania. As our house gives grant to postgraduate studies, scholarship holders are obliged to give a copy of their dissertation to our library. We have also a unique collection of unpublished theses. The same is true for conference grants, as the receptor has to give a copy of the conference papers to our library. Our library has a good number of what is called literature. More and more documents are not printed, but CDs, videos, e-documents, etc. Until now, these documents are stored in an appropriate way in our library, but they are not directly accessible via internet. An increasing number of doctoral theses are published only as e-documents. With also a documentation center, and news from different newspapers are collected and selected news are sent to the interested collaborators. More and more, the people are not asking for daily news clips, but for news clips over a certain period regarding a specific subject. These news clips or better information clips could or should also include other documents like information on articles or books. With this service, the library and the documentation center are merging more and more. We can even go a step further and say that the customers are no more requesting books, but information. But they do not gather as much as possible information. That is right only in a very few cases, but they are looking for selected information by an algorithm, but we still do need human brain. The tendency is clear. The library and the documentation center are merging and becoming more and more information center. The conservation of information is a big challenge. Stone and clay tables were lasting thousands of years if they were not destroyed. Paper at least remains hundreds of years. It depends on the quality. However, electronic documents and databases last for decades only. It has two aspects. The supporter is not sustainable. The data have to be rewritten again and again. That is not the big problem. The big problem is the technical advancement. Every year, every 10 years, you need a special program in order to read all data, or you have to migrate them into a new program or to forget them. The last option is not really an option for a library, especially when they keep documents on culture and not on techniques. In the last case, only the user information may be of interest. In culture, you need the historical memory. The electronic conservation of information as such is not a great change than the change from information written on stones to information written on paper. The biggest change is once published electronically in the internet, it is accessible by everyone. You do not need to publish further documents or copies. The internet is open to everyone. Anybody can publish information, opinion, or nonsense on any subject. The number of documents on internet or internet entries is often exceeding millions. Who will read or consult them? What are the possibilities to serve them according to the needs of the researcher? The internet is poorly regulated, where everyone can present its offers, but only a few global players seems to impose a strategy and interest. What are the possibilities for smaller interest groups to present their offers? Is there enough space for them, and how is it possible to use it? The internet is a space where the number is attracting. Not so much the quality, but the quantity is decisive. The enterprise, which has the biggest number of followers or users, attracts even more users. For publication, it means that English publications are majority and excite even more English publications. The number is attractive. What are the chances of other languages? Will they be ignored, even if they are of high quality? Will they be read? What is true for the question of publication language, it is also true for the content. Not the quality is important, but the number of readers. What is read most will be presented first in the internet. It is not the information which counts. The internet is uniforming public opinion more and more, and not informing. Some specific aspects. The internet is a global information in itself. Whatever information you are searching for, you will find it increasingly in the internet. There are enterprises which are using the internet to get the information they need in order to maximize their profit. Few enterprises succeed to be global player and finally to set the rules of the game. In our field, I want to mention Google and Amazon. Both are dealing with books and documents like libraries. The approach to these documents is different. Google has a search engine, tries to indicate all documents on the internet. It has special sections on books and scholarly documents. However, the system is the same. A search engine gives a number of results for a word or a combination of words. The search is what is called full text search, which means that if the word is found in the text, the document is present. Though there is a pre-selection, Google Books present only books which are found in a library or published by a publishing house. Scholar Google presents only documents of academic origin. The number of documents is often very high, and a good number of documents are out of interest. It is not enough that the word occurs. Amazon is selling books, but it is also more and more published books. Their catalog becomes more and more a global catalog. Both enterprises are economy driven. They provide only services which helps to maximize the profit. At the same time, both try to be global, in the sense that they try to deal with every document in the internet. Already today, the user of Google and Amazon has not the feeling that he should look elsewhere. If a document is not found by Google, or if it is not offered by Amazon, the conclusion is often the document does not exist. Amazon already does not present books of publishing houses which do not completely obey to their interest of profit maximizing. These books virtually do not exist. Besides these two global players, there are several small but specific global players in the internet which are specialized in library services. These are catalogs which are global and not a catalog of a specific library. Some of them are specialized in certain areas. For our library, those on religious matters are important. Among these catalogs are the WorldCat, the ATLA religious database, the Index Religiosus, the Index Theologicus, the DVK, and others. Some of them are economy driven and presenting only catalogizates which contribute to the profit aim. Others are interest and or service driven and follow a content aim. But there are also mixtures, for example, the Index Religiosus, which is a common adventure of a publishing house and university. Those which are service or content driven are often consorting different institutions. For example, the DVK, which is a mega search of many national catalogs. All these catalogs do normally not present the content of the document, but only metadata. They are following more or less the traditional catalogs. However, there are more and more catalogs enrichments. Some are even approaching the full text presentation, picture of the cover, copy of the table of content, and the summary. In some cases, they are presenting the full text either directly or by linking. Some universities and research institutes and in fields like techniques, medicine, also commercial institutions are offering data banks with full texts. An important issue is also the copyrights. It is a problem when the author's work is not paid or even deprived of the right to be paid. In this case, not the reader, but someone else has to pay for publication. This becomes even more questionable when the presenter of a publication makes a big profit from it, like Google. When it comes to the expectations of users concerning the information, Wikipedia is the leading internet enterprise. It counts the expectations. There are articles of high quality, but also articles which are more propaganda or of a very low quality. However, Wikipedia articles are more and more used for first information and even at last information. In scholarly articles, you find sometimes reference to these articles as one of the serious information sources. Another aspect is that young researchers are consulting first and sometimes exclusively the internet. Preference is given to those documents which can be found in the internet. They do not go daily to the library or even travel to libraries far away. If the document is not found in the internet, at least it should be saved at home. Our strategy. What is the answer to this world of information, and what does our library try to give? What is strategy? The main aim, the raison d'être of our library is the documentation of the development of contextual theologies and church history in Africa, Asia, and Oceania, but also of Latin America. We had coped with this task quite well. The main challenge was to know about new publications and to get a copy of the book. This challenge remains even in times of internet. Amazon does not present them, as you cannot make good profit with it. Not all publications are presented there. The transport is also often a special challenge. However, more and more publications are done electronically. There is no difficulty to catalog these publications and to put a link in the catalog. The difficulty is to become aware of these publications. Our library is therefore looking for partnership of those major institutions publishing relevant online articles and documents in our field of interest. The best would be to have a common catalog. In a traditional library, manuscript has to go a long way until it finds a place in the library as a book. The manuscript was evaluated by a lecturer of a publishing house, then reviews in journals, finally the academic staff or the library chooses the book. This procedure made sure that nearly only appropriate books found their way into the library. Online documents are immediately accessible without previous screening. We have to assure that such a screening will be done before the document finds an entry in the catalog. It is not sufficient that librarian makes the choice. Opinions of others are necessary. Maybe sometimes like classifications in 3 degrees is helpful. First degree, the librarian has chosen the document. Secondly, at least one positive or critical review has been published. The reviewer should not be the writer or person which has to do a favor to the writer. The third degree, several critical and positive reviews have been published. By searching, you can choose whether you look for first, second, or third degree documents. First degree documents should be eliminated from the catalog after a while. The second task of our library is to contribute to the spread of knowledge about contextual theologies and philosophies, church history, interreligious dialogue, etc. Knowing that most of our clients are not living around the library, we have to go to them today. This means that we have to make accessible the documents via internet. We have to store online documents, and we have to digitalize more and more documents respecting the rights of the authors. This means to build up a database with online text accessible via internet. However, we do not think that we can do it on our own. We are seeking for partnerships of many institutions in this field. A challenge of our library is the multicultural aspect of our fields of interest. Not only English books and documents are collected, but in every different language. Besides French, German, Italian, we have also documents in languages like Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, Arabic, Igbo, Israeli, etc., indigenous languages. The technical problem is quite easy to solve today. The challenge, however, is twofold. How to catalog this document with a limited personnel which has a limited knowledge of languages. How to make these documents known to readership which becomes more and more monolinguistic. It means only English reading. It may be okay for sciences manipulating the nature, but not for cultural studies. In this field, monolinguistic is equivalent to imperialistic. Our library wants to contribute to the maintenance of the different cultures which are regarded as a richness. Again, we are looking for the cooperation of local institutions with their competence. Even if there is not a bigger number of readers of these documents in local languages in our country, at least those who are real experts in these fields can read them. They should be supported. These aims exclude that the cooperation partner be Amazon or Google. As economy-driven institutions, they would take out of it only the profitable parts. In order to present all the treasures, money-wise profitable or not, we seek a strong partnership which is imposing itself in this research market as a reference catalog for all fields of interest. For the moment, we explore a cooperation with the Index Theologicus, and we seek widening the cooperation with our partners in Asia and Africa. Another important aspect of our house is to foster the dialogue and the exchange between theological and religious institutions, but also the quality of the teaching in Africa, Asia, Oceania, and Latin America, and in Europe and North America. Our library has to participate in this task by making the relevant documents available to these institutions. This is only possible with the cooperation of the libraries in these institutions. The exchange of documents and catalogizations is absolutely necessary. The Institute supports the development of the theological teaching institutes in Africa and Asia. In many countries in Africa and Asia, the libraries of these institutions are not very well developed. They do not have the financial means for buying books. In many libraries, the substantial parts of the documents date of the time before the 70s. The library rooms are even often not well equipped and are not appropriate for keeping documents. However, even in the remote areas, internet is advancing. We think that we should provide online documents for the teaching in others in order to assure quality of their teaching. We will ask for our partners to provide documents for this purpose and put them online. We have to agree how these documents will be accessible. Will it be an open library accessible for all, or should there be restricted access or a mixture of both? Publishing a book is costly. We do not only have printing costs, but also costs for distribution. The last ones are often higher. Distribution as such is in many countries a difficult issue, so that many books do not reach the place they should reach. We think that making more online publications will not be only cheaper, but hopefully also reach a higher readership. Cooperation presupposes two things: a technique which enables cooperation over a long distance, and the formal and quality norms which assure an agreed standard. Concerning the technique, our institute is just searching for adequate technology. Concerning the formal norms, we will follow those internationally agreed on. The experience of developed norms, especially for the own purpose, needs to adapt, and concerning the cooperation. As far as the quality norms are concerned, We have to fix them with our partners. I thank you for your attention.